We're at the Africa Bike Week in Margate, and Harry and I have managed to corner some very nice American chap. And you might wonder why we've done that. Well, he's got a quite interesting surname. Meet Bill Davidson. You'll understand why we're about to speak to him. Bill, welcome to South Africa.
Thank you. Great to be here.
First trip here, is it?
My first time, and what a wonderful, wonderful place.
Can you possibly explain for our viewers exactly how you are related to the family? Where do you sort of fit in?
Well, my great-grandfather was one of the original founders of the company, along with his two brothers, Walter and Arthur Davidson. So it was the three Davidson brothers, and then Bill Harley was a good friend of theirs. So the four of them really started the company off, and they started the company in a little 10 by 15 wooden shed.
So how would you describe your role within Harley-Davidson now? What's your official title?
I oversee our museum business, which is a significant business within the company. I'm the vice president of that, and I also sit on a leadership team within our marketing division.
Or why is there that absolute passion and loyalty to Harley-Davidson by the owners?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with our past, our 110-year heritage. You know, the fact that we have survived for that long, gone through many challenges, if you will. You know, when you think of World War I, World War II, the Great Depression in the U.S., you know, even as late as the recent economy bust in 2008, our sales dropped 40%. And through all that, you know, you establish a rich heritage, and I think heritage is a strong ingredient in driving trust in a customer, where they can trust the brand, they can trust our great worldwide dealer network, and they can trust the products because we know.
Do you find, though, that because of that heritage and that trust, are you locked into the sort of bikes you're making, or I mean, will you ever do anything other than a V-twin, for example?
You know, obviously the V-twin has been an iconic symbol of Harley-Davidson. I think there's different configurations of a V-twin. We did pursue that with the V-Rod. You know, we went from a 45-degree air-cooled to a 60-degree water-cooled, and that bike has been very successful for us. And I think that proves that the brand's strength, and if we apply the right Harley-Davidson formula of look, sound, and feel, we can truly stretch in different arenas. So the future is very, very exciting.
Is your customer base, do you find, is that getting older? Or I notice in South Africa it's a wealthy man, so they tend to be older. But are you managing to bring in a new, younger generation into Harley-Davidson?
We are, and it's really exciting. In fact, last week we had our earnings report, and 6 out of 10 riders are riders that have not been affiliated with the brand in the past. And we are really focusing on this outreach area where we're attracting young adults, African Americans, Hispanics, women, and obviously core is still extremely important to the company, and we're going to continue to grow that. But the core, the loyalty of those people is just immense. Once we have them in the brand, they stay because they love it.
Has that been through solely marketing or a different type of Harley-Davidson model?
I think there's a couple ingredients. It is primarily marketing, but the other element that's also fairly significant, obviously, is the product, the motorcycles. What do they look like? Are they low? Are they comfortable? What is this, if I'm a young adult, if I'm a guy that's 20 years old, what's going to attract me? Do I want the electric glide? Do I want what my dad used to ride? Or do I want something that has got a really cool, aggressive look that's new for me?
Now, merchandise. Obviously, Harley is pretty well known for its merchandise. Is there anything you haven't put your name on?
There are obviously things that we haven't put our name on, because when you put your name on something, it has to enhance the brand. You know, our logo, this bar and shield, it's iconic. You may not be a rider, but you're still going to recognize the logo. And so when we use our logo on different things, we do a full assessment of what is the impact. And if there's any negativity, we probably wouldn't do it.
I was lucky enough to visit your museum. What fascinated me is, you imagine a museum being a fusty old place, but it's obviously, it's a living exhibit. It kind of evolves. Tell me about, I was reading about this Japanese tsunami, Harley-Davidson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a perfect example of a bike that, you know, the exhibit's evolving.
Yeah. What occurred is the tsunami hit, and this motorcycle drifted from where the tsunami hit 4,000 miles to a small desolate island off the coast of British Columbia. The gentleman who found it, his name was Peter Mark, and he was a beachcomber. And he was out on his ATV riding along the shore of this desolate island and found this container, and he opened up the container, and here's a Softail night train in this container. So he left and started phoning various people. He contacted one of our dealers, and that dealer principal was very, very helpful in getting a team of people to go and rescue this bike. And when they went back to where the bike was, the crate or the container was completely gone. The bike was on its side and almost completely covered by sand. So they retrieved it. We were able to take the license number and work through our employees out of our Japanese subsidiary, and we actually contacted the owner. And unfortunately, you know, it's tragic. He lost several family members. He lost everything he owned, including his motorcycle. We offered to refurbish, and we probably would have had to have just given him a new motorcycle. But what he said, and I will always remember this, a very humble, respectful individual, he said, "I can't possibly accept that offer." He said, "I have lost so many friends. My fellow riders have lost their motorcycles. So I individually could never accept this." He said, "But what I want to do is donate this bike to the Harley-Davidson Museum as a memorial to all the individuals that were affected by the tsunami." We got it to Milwaukee. We put together a beautiful display with some pictures. We put a map of Japan and Canada and the path the bike floated through the ocean. And it's just a terrific memorial that we have at the museum.
Fantastic.
And the owner is very, very happy. I'm still hoping that he will one day come to the museum to see his bike and be very proud of what we've created for them.
Now, obviously, let's just move briefly on Milwaukee in August.
Yes.
The biggest party ever.
I can't wait. Are you coming?
Are we invited?
Absolutely, everybody's invited.
You've got quite big plans for it, I believe.
Milwaukee will be significant because it is home. It is where the company started. We're expecting tens of thousands of people. We have some great music lined up with Aerosmith and Toby Keith and Kid Rock and lots of other bands that'll be playing. ZZ Top's coming, and I mean it's just going to be fantastic. We're going to celebrate. It's time to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Yes, thank you.
You
very
have
much.
heard it from Bill himself. There's an open invite. You need to get to Milwaukee. I think, Harry?
I'm there.
I'm there.
Come
See you
on,
there, Bill.
I want to see everybody in Milwaukee. Come join me. We'll have a terrific party.